which in many ways served as the ultimate inspiration for continental African unity. Accra has long been considered a preferred consequential meeting point for the, and as I tout the credentials of Ghana, the usual rivalry will begin. But even though they are big in economy and in population, they know we are older. Ghana is older than them. We became independent in 1957, and they learned from us 3 years after, became independent in 1960. So allow Ghana to blow its horn and tout its Pan-African credentials. It's all in good spirit. Your Excellencies, today we gather not only as representatives of our various nations, but as proud custodians of a shared history, a common destiny, and a regional identity that has grown stronger over the last 5 decades. It was on 28 May 1975 that visionary leaders of West Africa came together in Lagos, Nigeria, to sign the Treaty of Lagos, giving birth to ECOWAS, an ambitious, people-centered regional bloc founded on the principles of unity, solidarity, cooperation, and economic integration. Your Excellencies, 50 years on, we have every reason to celebrate. ECOWAS has evolved from a modest economic cooperation framework into a dynamic, multifaceted regional community, championing not only economic integration, but also peace, security, democracy, and social development. From promoting intra-regional trade and cross-border infrastructure projects to deploying peacekeeping missions in moments of crisis and facilitating the free movement of our people, ECOWAS has made remarkable strides in advancing the collective aspirations of West Africans. This 50th anniversary milestone offers us an opportunity to reflect on the challenges we have overcome, the progress we have made, and the sacrifices of those who envisioned a united, prosperous, and peaceful West Africa. It is also a time to reaffirm our unwavering commitment to the ideals upon which this community was founded. As we launch these celebrations today, let us look forward together. The next chapter of ECOWAS must build on the foundations of the past, while boldly embracing the future. We must consolidate our gains in peace and security, deepen economic and political integration, and foster inclusive growth that benefits every citizen of this sub-region. Your Excellencies, as chair of Ghana's ECOWAS at 50 Planning Committee, kindly permit me to express boundless gratitude to all colleagues and partners who worked tirelessly to make this event a success. I should highlight the impressive sacrifices of the Ghanaian private sector, particularly media organizations who rendered services gratis. Your full sponsorship of this launch is a loud affirmation of your continuous belief in the ECOWAS vision. I will be remiss if I do not acknowledge the ECOWAS Planning Committee, led by ECOWAS Commission Vice President, Her Excellency Damtien Chichendija, for their remarkable contributions and exceptional team spirit. We remain indebted to the team, and certainly indebted to the Deputy Chief of Staff, the Honorable Stan Dogbe, and his very industrious team of event planners. Your Excellency, for those who might be wondering how this grand launch fits into President Mahamat's exemplary leadership of austerity, may I place on record that funding for the ECOWAS at 50 launch has been a shared responsibility. Financing this launch and the 2-day Extraordinary Council of Ministers meeting scheduled to take place right after the launch has been almost entirely paid for by ECOWAS member states. The Ghanaian taxpayer, therefore, has not been saddled with the entire cost of this event. Your Excellencies, we invite all member state institutions, partners, and the people of West Africa to participate actively, to share our common stories, to chart together the path towards a stronger, more resilient, more united ECOWAS, and to keep the ECOWAS and African unity dream alive. As Osajifo Kwame Nkrumah reminds us, if we in Africa can achieve the example of a continent knit together in common policy and common purpose, we shall have made the finest possible contribution to that peace for which all men and women thirst today, and which will lift once and forever the deepening shadow of global destruction from mankind. Once again, Your Excellencies, on behalf of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, the government and chiefs and people of the Republic of Ghana, I extend warmest welcome to all of you, our distinguished guests. May our deliberations and celebrations in the coming months inspire renewed hope, solidarity, and ambition for West Africa and the entire African continent. As we say in Ghana, Akwaba, Wezo, welcome. I thank you very much.
Mesdames et Messieurs, veuillez accueillir Son Excellence Dr Omar Aliou Touré, président de la Commission de la CEDEAO, pour son discours officiel. Ladies and gentlemen, please warmly welcome His Excellency, the President of the ECOWAS Commission, for his official address, Dr Omar Aliou Touré.
Your Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, President and Head of State of the Republic of Ghana, Excellency President Joseph Boakai, President and Head of State of Liberia, Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, former President of the Republic of Ghana, His Royal Highness the Gamanche and other traditional leaders of Ghana, Excellency the Prime Minister of the Republic of Togo, Excellency the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, Your Excellency Ambassador Yusuf Maitama Tuga, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chair of the ECOWAS Council, Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ghana, members of Ghana State Council, Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, members of the ECOWAS Council, Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and members of the Ghana Parliament, the Vice President of the ECOWAS Commission, heads of ECOWAS institutions, and Honorable Commissioners, the representative of the President of UEMOA, and of the President of IBID, Director General of WAMA, Special Envoy on Counter-Terrorism, Ambassador Baba Kamara, resident representatives of ECOWAS, staff of ECOWAS institutions, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor and a privilege to address you in this historic city of Accra, as we gather to launch the ECOWAS Golden Jubilee commemoration. On behalf of the management and staff of ECOWAS institutions, I would like to thank His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President and Head of State of the Republic of Ghana, the government and the people of Ghana for hosting this historic event. No doubt, Osajefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah would have been proud to see Ghana and Ghanaians hosting the launch of the 50th anniversary of ECOWAS, a pillar of the African unity that Dr. Nkrumah worked for, lived for, and died for. I salute their Excellencies, Presidents, Heads of State, the traditional leaders, Vice Presidents and Prime Ministers, as well as the Honorable Ministers and Ambassadors who have taken time from their busy schedule to join us here today. We thank you for your commitment to the integration and the prosperity of our people. I would like to pay special tribute to His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, former President of Ghana, for his leadership not only of Ghana, but also of ECOWAS during very trying times. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this event is the beginning of a string of activities that will take place in each member state of ECOWAS as a way of giving concrete expression to the ideal of ECOWAS of the people. In marking the 50th anniversary, our objective is to celebrate, reflect, and recalibrate our community. In the current context, many would be forgiven for asking if there is anything about ECOWAS that should be celebrated. Our response to such cynicism is an emphatic yes, and I have my reasons. First, ECOWAS is the most integrated community in Africa. In a recent interview, Alhaji Aliko Dangote lamented that he required visa for over 30 African countries. If an entrepreneur of Dangote's caliber can go through such hassles, can you imagine what ordinary people go through to travel within the continent? Thank God, no ECOWAS member state is among the countries that require Mr. Dangote to have a visa. This is because ECOWAS has adopted a free movement protocol that gives each ECOWAS citizen the right to visa-free movement, the right to residence, and the right to establishment across the region. These freedoms make the ECOWAS community the most integrated regional economic community on the continent. This, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, is a good reason to celebrate. Two, ECOWAS has an effective trade liberalization scheme. The ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme is ECOWAS's preferential trade arrangement. Since the inception of the trade liberalization scheme, more than 15,000 companies have been registered under the scheme and benefit from the preferential treatment within ECOWAS for more than 50,000 products. The Interconnected System for the Management of Goods in Transit, SIGMAT, has been launched to connect national customs offices in the ECOWAS region to facilitate the regional transit trade and increase the pace and ease of international trade. The system is now fully operational in 7 countries. These two, Excellency, together with the common external tariff, is a good reason to celebrate. 3, ECOWAS has a promising regional energy and infrastructure programs. The community has developed a 25-year master plan, which comprises 201 regional projects covering all member states. These have been estimated to cost about $131 billion. The 4 key sectors covered are transport, energy, telecommunication, and water resources. Within this context, Excellencies, key infrastructure projects have been launched. These include the Lagos-Abidjan Corridor Highway, as well as the Abidjan-Praia Corridor Highway, and several secondary corridors and joint border posts. The 1,028-kilometer Lagos-Abidjan Corridor Highway is one of the largest economic corridors on the continent, About 42 million US dollars has been successfully mobilized to finance the technical preparatory studies of the project. The feasibility and preliminary design studies, which have been completed, show a significant investment cost of nearly 15 billion US dollars, with an average economic rate of return of 15%. The corridor, the Abidjan-Lagos Corridor, Excellencies, is now ready for investors. In the same vein, preparations are underway for the development of the Abidjan-Praia Corridor that will consist of a maritime and shipping line from Praia in Cape Verde to Dakar in Senegal, and a 6-lane highway from Dakar in Senegal to Abidjan in Côte d'Ivoire, going through Banjul, Bissau, Freetown, and Monrovia. The technical and preparatory studies for this project have commenced and are expected to be completed shortly. In addition to these major corridors, other corridors include the Nigeria-Cameroon Highway and Transport Facilitation Program, the Mano River Multinational Highway and Transport Facilitation Project. All these initiatives are a source of hope, and so are the joint border posts that seek to limit the duplication of procedures and paperwork at border crossings. In the energy sector, ECOWAS and international partners have embarked upon several generation and interconnection projects within the region. These include electrification projects in the Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, and Mali through the ECOWAS Regional Electricity Access Project, ECOREAP. Similarly, electricity interconnection has been established with all 14 continental countries of the region. It is hoped that the completion of the Information and Coordination Center of the West African Power Pool will enable member states to buy and sell electricity within the region. In this regard, the ECOWAS Regional Electricity Sector Regulatory Authority, ERIRA, has been established here in Ghana with a mandate to regulate cross-border electricity exchange among ECOWAS member states. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, these efforts are being complemented by the Regional Off-Grid Electricity Access Project, launched by the ECOWAS Centre for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, ECRE. The project, that has an estimated cost of 340 million, seeks to facilitate access to off-grid electricity for households, businesses, and public institutions. Excellencies, ECOWAS has solid socio-economic development programs. I can go on to cite several such programs, such as the regional initiative, such as the West African Regional Digital Integration, regional regulatory frameworks on roaming, ECOWAS competition and investment regimes, ECOWAS intervention through WAHO, the West African Health Organization, on Ebola, on COVID, on Mpox, as well as the initiatives in the area of education, including vocational education. We can also cite the regional food reserves and humanitarian initiatives, the ECOWAS Rise Offensive, and climate-smart agricultural projects. All these programs and initiatives give us hope, and therefore constitute a reason to celebrate. But Excellencies, nothing is worth celebrating more than ECOWAS's role in peace and security in the region. Here, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Côte d'Ivoire, the Gambia, and Guinea-Bissau come to mind. It was the valiant ECOWAS peacekeepers and several rounds of peace talks that brought peace to Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Côte d'Ivoire. And it was ECOWAS that ensured that the will of the people of the Gambia prevailed in 2016. These are accomplishments worth celebrating, and so are efforts geared towards the fight against organized crime, including piracy. The establishment of the maritime security zones in the region and the strong partnerships built around maritime security have contributed to the decline in the incidences of piracy in our region, with 0 piracy incident recorded in 2024. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the celebrations of ECOWAS' 50th anniversary must go hand in hand with reflections with a view to recalibration. One area that requires reflection is the low level of intra-community trade. Despite being a customs union, intra-community trade within stands at 12%. This is considerably low compared to the European Union and ASEAN countries. To resolve this, we must continue to address the infrastructure and energy deficit as well as non-tariff barriers. But most significantly, the terrorist menace that constitute a key driver of insecurity in the region knows no borders. This makes security collaboration within the region imperative. In this regard, I would like to salute efforts being deployed by His Excellency President Mahama, and indeed the chair of ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, aimed at bringing about reconciliation and fostering collaboration between ECOWAS and the countries that belong to the Alliance for Sahelian State. Despite the challenges, I remain optimistic that we will continue the gains of regional integration for our people who are united by blood. Long live ECOWAS, long live West Africa, long live Africa. Thank you for
Ladies and gentlemen, we just heard from Dr. Omar Alieu Touré, President of the Commission of ECOWAS, or ECOWAS Commission, and before that we also heard from the Honorable Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, Minister of Foreign Affairs. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate 50 years, we are celebrating the past, but I also would like to doff my hat to the organizing committee for more or less anticipating a wonderful and the ever popular Presec High School Tinubu, you are welcome. Please, another round of applause for the future of Africa. I can see some of you who went to those schools are smiling. Thank you so much for joining us. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Her Excellency Bianca Ojukwu, the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Nigeria, here representing the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu, will now read a statement on his behalf in his capacity as Chair of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government. Mesdames et messieurs, je voudrais inviter sur scène Son Excellence Bianca Ojukwu, représentante du Président Bola Tinubu de Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, please warmly welcome her.
Your Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana, and our dear host, heads of state and government here present, the President of the ECOWAS Commission, members of ECOWAS Council of Ministers, honorable ministers and other senior government officials of the Republic of Ghana, commissioners and heads of ECOWAS institutions, representatives of regional and international organizations, members of the diplomatic corps, traditional rulers here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. These are the remarks by His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, Chair of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, at this official launch of the ECOWAS Golden Jubilee in Accra, Ghana. I quote, "With a profound sense of fraternity and solidarity, I stand before you today in the beautiful city of Accra to celebrate the official launch of the ECOWAS, the Economic Community of West African States Golden Jubilee. ECOWAS was a bold vision created by our founding fathers on May 28, 1975. We have seen that vision crystallize. Hence, we celebrate 5 decades of progress, unity, and resilience, and rekindle the flame of solidarity that has guided our region through triumphs and trials. My heartfelt congratulations go to my dear brother, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, whose visionary leadership, unwavering dedication, and the steadfast commitment to regional integration and development ideals have been a source of inspiration and strength. Under your stewardship, Your Excellency, Ghana remains a beacon of democratic governance, economic progress, and regional solidarity. Your efforts in championing the upliftment of our dear region through diplomacy, collaboration, and tireless transformative policies deserve our most profound appreciation and admiration. Similarly, I commend the tireless efforts and unwavering dedication of the ECOWAS Commission staff. Their professionalism, commitment, and collaborative spirit have been instrumental in making this day a resounding success. 5 decades further, from 15 nations envisioned regional economic integration, cooperation, and shared prosperity. From the ashes of colonialism and the turbulence of post-independence struggles, they forged ECOWAS, a beacon of hope for our people. Their dream was not merely to dissolve borders, but to build bridges of trade, cultural exchange, and mutual progress. From the original Treaty of Lagos in 1975 to this momentous gathering here in Accra, ECOWAS has remained a pillar of integration and a beacon of hope for over 400 million citizens across our region. Remarkably, our journey over the past 5 decades has not been without challenges. We have faced political instability, economic hardship, infrastructural deficits, and security threats, but we remain undaunted. We shall not relent in our commitment to a united, peaceful, purposeful, and prosperous West Africa. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, today we celebrate numerous remarkable achievements that distinguish ECOWAS as the most successful regional economic community on the African continent. We have established one of Africa's most vibrant free trade areas in 5 decades, fostering intra-regional commerce and lifting millions from poverty. We have championed peace through ECOMOG's valiant efforts, mediating conflicts in Liberia, Sierra Leone, and the Gambia. We have introduced the ECOWAS passport, symbolizing our commitment to free movement. We have also advanced democratic norms, standing firm against tyranny and supporting transitions to constitutional governance. However, the journey towards a truly united and prosperous region is far from over. We must confront the hard truths of our present reality. Despite our shared vision, too many of our citizens still live in poverty. Too many of our children lack access to quality education. And too many of our youth remain unemployed, disillusioned, or forced to seek opportunities abroad. Our region continues to grapple with new and evolving threats: violent extremism, climate change, and food insecurity. The wave of unconstitutional changes in our region seriously threatens the democratic gains we have painstakingly built. As the current chair of ECOWAS, I reaffirm Nigeria's unwavering commitment to the fundamental principles that bind us: democracy, the rule of law, good governance, and regional solidarity. These are not just ideals, they are the foundations for peace, development, and the dignity of our people. In this new chapter, we must reimagine ECOWAS as not just a community of states, but a community of people, we must place our young, dynamic, creative, and resilient people at the center of our agenda. We must invest in education, innovation, and skills development to unleash the full potential of Africa's future. We must seek to expand the frontiers of democracy, and we must limit the forays of unconstitutional rule into the democratic space. We must always seek peace towards achieving the collaborations needed for development. We must also deepen our economic cooperation, support intra-regional trade, and ensure that the African continental free trade area becomes a vehicle for genuine transformation. A prosperous West Africa is good for Africa and the world. In deepening our integration, we must accelerate the realization of a single currency and strengthen infrastructure corridors to connect markets and minds. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, let us use this Jubilee as a moment of renewal. Let us rededicate ourselves to the spirit of Pan-Africanism that inspired our founders. Let us build an ECOWAS that is more resilient, more inclusive, and more responsive to the needs of our people. This moment calls for a renewed commitment to fostering unity and solidarity among member states. It is a time to strengthen the bonds that tie us together through shared values, collective responsibility, and a common vision for a prosperous region. In hopes of reconciliation and reintegration, we must remain open and willing to engage in sustained, constructive dialogue with our estranged brothers, those member states currently outside our fold. At the same time, there is an urgent need to implement bold, comprehensive reforms that will enhance our institutions' effectiveness, relevance, and credibility to meet the challenges of today and the future. By embracing these imperatives, the organization can better respond to its people's evolving needs and advance sustainable development, stability, and prosperity across the region. In conclusion, let me remind you of a Nigerian proverb that says, "A tree does not stand alone in the forest." Our strength lies in our unity. As a proud member, Nigeria pledges to collaborate with every nation, large or small, to build an ECOWAS that is resilient to confront the challenges of our time. May the next 50 years be etched in history as an era when West Africa rose, united, prosperous, and unstoppable. I thank you all.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Bianca Ojukwu. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we launch the 50th anniversary of our ECOWAS community, we must hasten to remind ourselves that the peoples of these lands have a history that goes far beyond the 50 years. Now, our Honorable Foreign Minister in the spirit of cultural diplomacy, is pleased to present to you a special highlight performance of our launch, featuring the Mansa World, which is taking Africa's rich historical stories global through epic productions in a project endorsed by UNESCO. Now, ladies and gentlemen, their debut theatrical epic, Mansa Musa and the Trail of Lost Gold, has been touring the world to critical acclaim. Proudly created by Ghanaian poet and playwright Chief Moman, and performed by what you can see now, known as Bamboo Heritage. And it is with honor, gratitude, joy, pride, a lot of ECOWASism, they may call it, that I present to you the Mansa World in a special act titled Reclaiming Our Destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, this is ECOWAS at 50.
Memory beyond time. We harvest tears from laughter's eyes. We even sow some joy in sorrow's deepest soul. We are dancer and the dance. In the space between the drums in us, you will feel unfold the endless saga of ancestral time. We are dancer and the dance. There is a journey we all must make into our past in order to come to terms with our future.
ECOWAS community, we must look beyond our boundaries and come together in our ancestral bond. Today we shall invoke the memory of our ancestors. We invoke the memory of Dinga Sise of the Ghana Empire, Wagadu. We invoke the memory of the Mansa Musa. He went on the Hajj from Mali to Mecca with the greatest caravan of about 60,000.
Golden glory of the morning God. We shine above the world. With a golden caravan. Great kings and royals.
With a royal procession.
Kriya, 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 ah, ah.
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 Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey.
The memory of Askia Muhammad, who conquered Songhai and forged Songhai.
Askia Muhammadu Kagoladamu Achiki Masoya Kasadamu
Askiyamadu Akuladamu Achiki Masoya Kasadamu Askiyamadu Akuladamu Achiki Masoya Kasadamu.
Empires emerged our West African countries.
Nous sommes partagés les mots. Plus rien ne m'étonne, plus rien ne m'étonne.